Hello and welcome all my dear third standard little champs. How have you been? I hope you all are great, fit, fine. You are taking care of your health and hygiene. My dear little champs, as you know that in the previous lecture of the science, we have started chapter number 10 explanation part. Now, previous to that lecture, we have done hard words of that chapter and the reading part. I hope that in the reading part, you were reading the chapter with me, and in the hard words part, you have highlighted and written the hard words in the rough notebook. Why am I telling this? Is because, yes, I have got the notes from many of the students, but few students have not yet sent me the notes, what they have written. So it is my humble request to the remaining students who have not sent me the notes, either send it to your follow-up teacher or send it to me. Please make sure that you cop up with all the lectures, you complete all the work given throughout the lecture. My dear little champs, once again welcome to this lecture. Let us start our day with a wonderful thought. So, thought of the day is forget the pain what you get, but never forget the lesson what you gained. So, in whichever situation you are, you will come out of that situation. The situation is going to get calmed down and normal, but never forget the lesson what you get in the hard time. So the pain what you get, you should forget that. Now, for an example, if you go to the doctor, doctor gives you the injection. Injection is very painful, I know. Forget that pain, but then never forget what lesson you got. That you should never go outside and eat a lot outside food. You should never consume the food of outside a lot. Neither should you go outside without covering your nose or the ears. So these are the lessons what you can get from every situation. So I think this thought is very much related to you people. And I hope that you will keep this thought in your mind and work accordingly. Now, let us start with the today's work. What are we going to do? We are going to continue with the explanation part, understanding part of chapter number 10, measurement, which starts from page number 98 of your new textbook. So let's get started. If you do not have textbook, what do you have to do is you have to just sit, fold your hands, your ears, your eyes, your mind should be on the screen. That's it. We do not need more than that to understand the chapter. I will suggest you, even if you have the textbook, close your textbook and just sit and listen to the explanation given here throughout the chapter. And I hope that once you will understand the chapter, you will not have to mug up the answer. You will be able to make the answers on your own. That is when you have understood the chapter. So let's get started. So this is the textbook which you also might be having. Chapter number 10, measurement. This is what we have started. Looking onto the first page, as you know that we have done measurement of length. So let us take the recall of the concept we have done. Yesterday we did what is measurement of length, in which few new terms were introduced. I suppose that these terms are new for you. As you are today's generation, you might be knowing what is measure tape, what is ruler, and etc. You might not be knowing what all this is. Actually, now you should know from the yesterday's lecture that what is cubit, what is foot span, what is hand span, and what is stride. These are the measuring instruments or the units were used in the earlier days when your grandparents were young. During those days, no other measurement units or other facilities were available. And moreover, I even explained you why these type of measurements got outdated and we need to introduce the standard unit of measurement. Because if you measure anything with your body parts, it is but obvious that you, your brothers, your parents, hands and the legs are going to have the different sizes. So if you measure, it might be different. If anyone else measures, it might be different. So for this reason, we need to introduce the standard measuring, fixed measuring units. So that is why the measuring units were introduced. Now here, thereafter, you understood what is a unit. The unit is the fixed quantity that is used as the standard for the measurement. Then you know that meter and centimeter. Meter is used to measure the larger or the long length, and centimeter is used to measure the small length, smaller than the meter. A centimeter ruler can be used to measure the length. We use a measuring tape to measure the big length. I even gave you the example of the dress or the clothes. You go to buy the clothes for the stitching, you first purchase the clothes. So there they just measure the length of the cloth using the measuring tape, which is in the meter, not in the centimeter. Okay, so this is what I have explained you. Even I asked you to send me the photo of how much big your sketch pen is. Using your scale, using your ruler, you can just measure it in the centimeters. Correct? Then we saw the fact file in which it is clearly written that the tallest building in the world is in the Dubai. I even told you the name of that building, which is Burj Khalifa. And then I just drew your attention towards this as the length of this big measurement is done. It is in the meters, if you can see. Then we move towards measurement of mass. I told you what is mass? Mass is the amount of the material inside the object, and to measure that beam balance is used. Then moving towards this, I showed you what is beam balance. Here the picture is given on page number 100 of your textbook. If you are having the textbook, I hope that you have at least read the lesson once, read this chapter once. Then we saw that here the units are kilogram and gram to measure the mass. The units are kilogram and gram. Like meter and centimeter, this is the same here. Kilogram is used for the big quantity and grams. This unit is used for the small quantity. Kilogram is written as kg and gram is written as g. Here also centimeter is written as cm and meter is written as m. So this much is what we have done in the previous lecture, or I should say yesterday's lecture. Now my dear students, let us move further towards the measurement of capacity. I hope you all are ready to understand this. Please make sure put your 100% in understanding the chapter on the words, emphasize on the words I am speaking so that you will be able to connect yourself with the lecture. Measurement of capacity. Now, again, you know the meaning of measurement. In the beginning, again, let me show it to you. On the first page itself, here the definition of measurement was given, which I have explained you. Now, what is measurement of capacity? You need to understand the meaning of capacity, right? You might have heard many a times this word, as it is very common word used in the English, capacity. It is not in my capacity. I cannot do that. You have the capacity to do that, right? So capacity is the word you might have heard more than 100 times in your school or anywhere. Let us understand what is it according to here. Capacity of container is the amount of the liquid it can hold. Now here the clear elaboration is given. Capacity of the container is the amount of liquid it can hold. Now if you ask that what is the capacity of this container and this container, how will you find it out? You will have to pour the water inside that container, and then you will have to see how much water will be filled. That is the capacity of that container. Let us read further to understand it in the detail. A can fill 2 glasses. Jug B can fill 4 glasses. Now if you take jug A, it can only fill 2 glasses. But if you take jug B, it can fill 4 glasses. So this is the capacity of that container to fill 2 or 4 glasses respectively for jug A and jug B. Correct? You can say that I can bring For example, you can say that I can bring 97 percentage, and your friend will say that no, that is not my capacity. I can bring only 80 percentage. So that is your capacity to understand the lesson, remember the questions and answers. So according to the capacity, it is all dependent on. Capacity can be of different level. Here it is given, the example is given for the jug and the water. And I gave you the live example for the marks. So every single person and everything has a different capacity. The jug that can hold more water has more capacity, which is but obvious. The jug B has more capacity because jug B can fill 4 glasses with the water it has, and jug A has the less capacity. So liter is commonly used unit for measuring capacity. You might be knowing, if in the morning nowadays you are at home, so you might be observing that at your home in the morning you need milk for the tea or coffee or the milk you drink. In the morning at least you need that. I don't know about the afternoon. So you might be knowing there is the measuring hooks or the measuring jugs with the milkman. If you are taking the milk from the milkman, they have the different measuring jugs in their hand, with the help of which they measure the milk in the liter, because liquid is measured in the liter or the milliliter, right? So you might be saying, I want 2 liters of milk, I want 3 liters of milk, and the milkman will give you that much milk. Even the milk polythenes available in the market, they have the proper measurement in the liters. So liter is commonly used unit for measuring capacity. Smaller amounts of the liquid are measured in milliliters. So same is like kilogram and gram, meter and centimeter, liter and milliliter are also used in the same way. Liter for the big quantity, milliliter for the small quantity. Liter is written as L and milliliter is written as ml. Can you observe one thing in this line? Let me zoom it in. Here L is written in the capital, whether it is a liter or milliliter. L is written as capital. These are the things you have to be precise for. You have to be very much accurate for this when you are typing the answers in the exam. So a measuring cylinder is used to measure the amount of liquid. Measuring cylinders come in the various capacities. Like I said, measuring cylinders, as you can see here, the picture of measuring cylinders. So one might be of 1 liter, another might be of 4 liter, another might be of 6 to 7 liters. So they come in the different capacities, so that if you fill that much amount of container, that means you are pretty sure that now this container has 1 liter capacity, so the liquid inside will also be of 1 liter. I hope this concept is pretty clear in your mind, what is liter and what is milliliter now. This is what we understood while we were reading the chapter. Okay, my dear students, here one small activity is given for us to solve that. Let us solve it. And I'm pretty sure that if you have understood, if you have watched the previous lecture, since previous lecture, if you are paying attention, this exercise is pretty easy for us. Let us solve it. What do we have to do? There are two main questions here. First one is, circle the odd one out in each of the following. Now you will have to check the list. Which word do you think is not fitable or which does not fit in the list? Number one, length, weight, meter, height. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the correct answer is weight. Here, weight does not match in this list. Next, number 2, cubit, stride, capacity, foot span. which word is odd or does not fit here? Again, I'll give you 3 seconds to think. One, two, three. Okay. So here the correct answer, or I should say incorrect word for the list is capacity. Okay, next is kilograms, cylinder, balance, gram. So which one does not fit here? One, two, and three. Here, cylinder does not match. Why? Because kilograms, grams, balance are very much related. Cylinder is not. And same with all these three. Last list, liter, milliliter, kiloliter, meter. I hope that this one will be easier for you. I'll count three. Please solve it. One, two, and three. Kiloliter again is the odd one here. So these are the answers. I hope that you have solved in the same way if you are having the textbook. Even if you are not having the textbook, I hope that you are giving me the answers properly. Okay, now question number 2. Write T for the true and F for the false statements. Let us solve this. This one is also pretty easy. Number 1. Okay, so let us read and just see whether the statements written here are true or false, or how many are true or how many are false. Number 1. Kilogram is written as kg. So, like I said, when I was explaining you kilogram and gram, I told you to carefully pay attention towards how is it written. So, here as you can see, it is clearly written, kilogram is written as kg. Here in the same way it is written, kilogram is written as kg. So, this statement is true. So I have written the answer here. Number 2, milliliter is written as L. Is milliliter written as L? Let us see here. Milliliter is written as ml, not L as it was. So this statement is false. Now, foot span of every person is the same. So students, when I explain you why nowadays standard units are found, I even told you that in the earlier days they used to measure with the hand span and foot span, which were not same for all. Not same for all. Here it is written of every person is the same, so the statement is obviously false. I hope that you too felt these questions very much easy to be solved and you did it before I did on the screen. So these are the questions which you will also have to write it down in your fair notebook. I hope that you have taken notes of this. Let's move towards the next page. In everyday life, we also need to measure the things that do not involve only length, mass, and capacity. So in everyday life, we saw how the measurement of length, mass, and capacity is used. What are the units for that? For every single measurement, 2 units were there, one for the large and one for the small measurement. Now, other than that, one more measurement is there. Time is one such thing. Let us learn about the measurement of time. Here now we will get into the topic of time. How is time measured? Do you know how is time measured, students? Some of you might be knowing how the time is measured. Some of you might not be knowing. In fact, still a whole lot of students don't know how to look at the wall clock and see the time, which is, I think, which is very bad. So let us see and understand. Measurement of time. Time is measured using a clock or watch. The unit of measuring time is seconds. Sometimes we also use minutes, hour, day, week, month, or year as other units of time according to the need. So, according to our need, these are the measuring units. But first unit which is considered here is second. If the one hand of the clock goes like this, we consider 1 second. So with each strike, we consider 1 second moving. So second is very short unit for the measurement. Bigger than that is the minute. Bigger than that is the hour, and then the day, then week, month, or the year. So that is why here it is written that according to our need, we use these units for the measurement of the time. So here you can see blanks are given. Let me tell you, these are very much interesting. Let us solve it. Chintu wakes up at dash o'clock. So students, here you might be saying that, sir, we do not know any boy with the name Chintu. How can we write this? Let me tell you students, here you have to write the general time. When do you wake up in the morning? So I will write it here. 7 o'clock. Okay. Chintu wakes up at 7 o'clock. Now here you can see second picture is there where he is playing cricket. So he goes to play at dash o'clock. So at what time does the Chintu go to play? Obviously he might be going in the evening time. So we can write at 5 o'clock. You can write the time you want. He goes to play at 5 o'clock. Chintu goes to sleep at dash o'clock. Now, it is well said in the English. Early to bed, early to rise. Makes one fit and fine. So, here, at what time should you sleep? So, I'll write here 10 o'clock. Okay. So, Chintu wakes up at 7 o'clock. He goes at 5. He goes to play at 5 o'clock. Chintu goes to sleep at 10 o'clock. So these are the measurement of time. These are the measurement of time and the hours. 7 o'clock means 7 hours. 5 o'clock means 5 hours. 10 o'clock means 10 hours. At 10 hours, you can also say like that. So these are the measuring units of time. Now I hope that you have got an idea of what is measurement of length, what is measurement of mass, measurement of capacity, and measurement of time. And here now if you will see, if you remember that in the previous lecture I even asked you to write these keywords which are very much useful. Length is the size of the or the measurement of how long something is. If you want to see how long something is, if you want to measure that, length is the unit for that. Mass, the amount of the material an object contains. Inside the object, how much amount of the material is, if you want to measure that, then the mass is the unit. Capacity, so the amount of liquid container can hold. In one jug, you can keep the water similar to the 4 glasses. In another jug, you can keep the water similar to the 2 glasses. So that is the capacity of that jug to hold the water. So now I hope that these 3 keywords are pretty clear in your mind, and now you have the idea of what it is. Let us see the summary part of this chapter, because summary holds the overall view of what you have studied throughout the chapter. Point 1. we need to measure different things such as length, weight, capacity, and time in our daily life, which is, yes, very obvious. If you want to go to school, you have to measure the time, you have to reach at a perfect time, leave at the perfect time. There, if you are joining any sports, you need the measurement of length. If you are purchasing any clothes, you need the length. Then again, you are participating in any kind of sports, you need the measurement of the weight. Then according to your capacity, you study and bring the marks. So every single measurement is very much necessary in our day-to-day life. Second point is length is measured in the meters and centimeters, which you know cm and m are the units written in that way, centimeter and meter respectively. Then comes mass is measured in kilograms and grams. So how was it written? Kg and G. Capacity is measured in the liters and milliliters. So how was it written? Capital L for the liter and small m capital L for milliliter. Time is measured in the seconds. Now other than seconds, which units were used for the time, students? Minute, hour, week, month, and the years. These also are the units which we use to indicate the time according to our convenience. So I hope that this chapter now is very much clear in your mind what measurement is used, how it is written, where it is used. Each and everything was clearly explained. Try to watch the explanation video twice as far so that you will be able to make the concept very clear in your mind. So my dear students, here our lecture ends. Thank you for watching this lecture, understanding the concept. I even hope that you will keep sending your work to the follow-up teachers, whatever we have done in the textbook, whatever I have asked you to write in the rough book. So please make sure you stay connected with the teachers, as you know that now the exams are going to be conducted, so you will have to study hard. And please make sure if you watch the lectures daily, you do not have to do the hard work. So it is my humble request to follow up all the lectures. Have a nice day. Goodbye.